Chapter 3 of Pee-wee Harris on the Trail. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Pee-wee Harris on the Trail by Percy Keese Fitzhugh. Chapter 3, Three Good Turns. "Give him the money," laughed Mr. Bartlett. "I will do no such thing," said his wife. "I thought you were a poor little starving urchin, Walter. Wherever did you get that sweater?" "I don't believe he's had anything to eat for half an hour," said Mr. Bartlett. "Well, how is my old college chum, Pee-wee? You make her give you the 25 cents, Pee-wee." "A scout can't accept money like that," said Mrs. Bartlett reprovingly. "It's against the rules. Don't you know that?" Pee-wee cast a longing glance back at the window of Piffle's Bakery, and then proceeded to set Mrs. Bartlett right on the subject of the scout law. It depends on what you call rules, see," he said. "And on what you call hungry," added Mr. Bartlett. If you kind of want to do a good turn, I haven't got any right to stop you, have I?" Pee-wee said. "Because good turns are the main things. Gee whiz, I haven't got any right to interfere with those. I haven't got any right to accept money for a service, but suppose there's a jelly roll." "There is," said Mr. Bartlett, "but in 2 minutes there isn't going to be. You go and get that jelly roll as a favor to Mrs. Bartlett, and hurry up back, and we'll take you to the Lyric." "I was going there anyway," Pee-wee said. "I want to see the Bandit of Harrowing Highway. It's in 5 reels." "Well, you come along with us," said Mr. Bartlett, "and then you'll be doing 2 good turns. You'll be doing a favor to Mrs. Bartlett by buying a jelly roll, and you'll be doing a favor to me by making a party of 3 to see the Bandit of Harrowing Highway. What do you say?" "Three's my lucky number," said Pee-wee. Then suddenly bethinking himself, he added, "But I don't mean I want to get 3 jelly rolls, you understand." "Yes, we understand," said Mrs. Bartlett. So it befell that Pee-wee, alias Walter Harris, scout of the first class, and quality if not quantity, found himself riding luxuriously down Main Street in the rear seat of Mr. Bartlett's big hunk-a-junk touring car, eating a jelly roll with true scout relish, for it was now close to 8 o'clock, and Pee-wee had not eaten anything since supper time. Having completed this good turn to Mrs. Bartlett, he proceeded to do a good turn to himself by bringing forth 2 sandwiches out of the pocket usually associated with a far more dangerous weapon. This was his emergency kit, which he always carried, morning, noon, or night. He always carried a couple of sandwiches, the same as motorists carry extra tires. And while he ate, he talked. "Gee whiz, I'm crazy to see that picture," he said. "We usually go for the educational films," said Mrs. Bartlett. "I don't like anything that's got education in it," Pee-wee said. "Even when I go to vaudeville, I don't like educated monkeys and cats and things. I like bandits and things like that. What's your favorite thing?" "Well, I like scouts," said Mr. Bartlett. "Mine's ice cream cones," said Pee-wee. "Is this a new car? I bet I know what kind it is. It's a hunk-a-junk. I like hot frankfurters, too. I can tell all the different kinds of cars because a scout is supposed to be observant. Do you like gumdrops? I'm crazy about those." "But where did you get that sweater?" Mrs. Bartlett asked. "Do you want me to tell you about it? It belongs to a man that takes care of our furnace. He's got a peach of a tattoo mark on his arm. My mother told me I had to wear a sweater, so I grabbed that as I went through the back hall. I always go out through the kitchen. Do you know why?" "I think I can guess," said Mr. Bartlett. "And the cap?" Mrs. Bartlett asked. "You know the burglar that came to our house?" "No, I never met him," said Mrs. Bartlett. "I bet you don't like burglars, eh? He left this cap. He didn't get anything, and I got the cap, so that shows I'm always lucky. My mother doesn't want me to wear it. Gee whiz, she hates burglars. Anyway, it's good and comfortable. My father says if he comes back for it, I have to give it to him." "Well, you certainly don't look like Walter Harris, the Boy Scout I have always known," said Mrs. Bartlett. "Don't you care?" said Pee-wee. "If you're a scout, you're a scout, no matter if you don't wear anything." "Oh, how dreadful!" said Mrs. Bartlett. "I know worse things than that," said Pee-wee. "Well, tell us about the scouts," Mr. Bartlett encouraged him. "Shall I tell you all about them?" "Surely. Begin at the beginning." "That's Law 1. It's about honor. Do you know what that is?" "I've heard of it," said Mr. Bartlett. A scout has to be honorable, see, that comes first of all, before eating. Eating is all the way through it. Oh, I see. A scout has to be so so honorable that nobody could suspect him, see? If you're a scout, that means that everybody knows you're all right. There are a lot of other laws, too. Well, here we are at the lyrics, said Mr. Bartlett, so let's go in and see what the bandit of Harrowing Highway thinks about honor. Leaving the car in front of the theater, the three elbowed their way through the long crowded lobby, and soon Pee wee Harris, scout, was no longer in Bridgeboro, but among rugged mountains where a man with a couple of pistols in his belt and a hat as big as an umbrella reined up a spirited horse and waited for a caravan and all that sort of stuff. End of chapter 3.